Hey, do you want to study real Mandarin which real Chinese people used? This podcast may be your choice. Hi everyone, welcome to Real Mandarin. I'm Kang. You can call me Xin. This version is for beginners. I will explain all the meanings in English. If you already know some Chinese, please check out this episode in full Mandarin. If not, don't worry. I believe you will be advanced soon. I found that many Mandarin Chinese podcasts are old school or just boring. So why not just make my own podcast? First of all, let me explain why I say that Chinese teaching on the internet is boring. Think back to what was the first Mandarin or Chinese word you learned. I believe many people will say 你好. But if I say that 你好 is not a very common word for Chinese people nowadays, or has always been, would you be surprised? What if Chinese people don't use hello? What do they use? This is the content of episode 1. I will explain it to you later. Many Mandarin tutorials always like to teach foreigners some very formal Chinese, but in daily life, people don't use it at all. Some are outdated, some are directly translated into Chinese according to foreigners' language habits, and some are too formal and not suitable for daily speaking. But please note that if you are preparing for the HSK test, you need to use formal Chinese. Secondly, I will also tell you about the difference between 中文 and 普通话. 中文 is Chinese and it is called 汉语 academically, while 普通话 is Mandarin. 中文 or 汉语 refers to the general term for many languages used by the Chinese people like me, such as Cantonese, 粤语, and Mandarin, 普通话. Mandarin, 普通话 is a common language formulated by the government with unified standards. The relationship between Chinese, 汉语 or 中文 and Mandarin, 普通话 is similar to the relationship between English and received pronunciation used by the British royal family. But Mandarin is not only about pronunciation, it also includes like grammar, vocabulary, and so on. And most of the Chinese learning materials we can usually access are about Mandarin, 普通话. In this podcast, Chinese, 汉语, 中文, and Mandarin, 普通话 will also be interchangeable. So please don't be confused, okay? Well, that's all for episode 0. In episode 1, I will answer why I said Chinese people don't often use 你好 for greeting. If you like my podcast, you know what to do, right? Thank you for listening and see you in episode 1.